Hey everybody, Danielle Hargenrader here. Welcome to another episode of Unleash Your Inner Diabetes Dominator. Today I'm really excited to bring you my first mother-daughter interview. Anna and Peyton. So Peyton was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes at the age of 3, and she's now 5 years old. Anna and Peyton, they were blindsided with this because Peyton also has celiac disease, and she was having some problems with that, and that's when they found out she had type 1 diabetes. Peyton started kindergarten this year, and she's really thriving, and Anna is a lovely stay-at-home mom with 4 beautiful girls. And you also may know Anna and Peyton from the video that Peyton did where she held up her cards telling her diabetes story, kind of silently, but with a pretty huge impact. So Anna and Peyton, thank you so much for joining me today. How are you?
Good.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. So why don't you tell us a little bit about Peyton's diagnosis, and then give us a little background about what inspired you to do the video that I think you can tell me, because I'm not sure how many views it's had. I think like 400 or 500,000 or maybe more at this point. So give us a little information about Peyton's diagnosis and how it led to the video.
Okay. Well, Peyton, like you said, was diagnosed when she was 3. She was having a lot of stomach issues, and at the time we didn't know, that she had celiac or diabetes. And she was losing a lot of weight. And so we, I took her into the doctor, and they said, well, I think she's got either strep or the flu, something like that. And so we went home, and we just took, she got rest. We gave her some medicine, and, she was thirsty, just constantly thirsty, and she wouldn't eat a lot. And so, she would down a 20 ounce in, minutes. And, we thought, okay, well, she's just got the flu or something. Well, we went back the next day, and they, did a urine test and said, well, she's got ketones and you need to go to the children's hospital. So we went to the children's hospital, and then it was confirmed. And at the time, we really were blindsided. And as I think most type 1 parents are, when like, where did I go wrong, or how did we not see this? But when you don't know the symptoms and the signs, then you are blindsided, and that's basically why we wanted to do a video. We put the video out in November, which was, Diabetes Awareness Month. And we wanted just to spread awareness to, the parents, and to also let the other kids that are type 1 know that they're not alone. And I think it really did. It helped a lot of kids, and it helped some parents to understand that, they're not alone, and that there are kids like them, because Peyton doesn't know many kids her age that have type 1. We've met a few here and there, but we don't know a lot. And so it is comforting, I think, to parents and to also kids to see that, you're not the only one, and that there are people like you, and maybe it won't make her world so scary. And so, we, basically that's why we did it. And we were just, we've got a lot of, messages from people all over the world. I mean, we got views from Egypt and, Pakistan and Ecuador. I mean, it was amazing how far her video reached, and I think it's in the 400,000s. But when we first did it, I was like, well, it'll reach our family and our friends. But I mean, we had no idea that it would have reached as many people as it did, and it was just really exciting. And do you want to say anything? No.
That's okay. Peyton, maybe you'll want to say something later, but I think you said so many really important things there that I just want to kind of cover on a little bit. Is that, you said the same thing. I think a lot of parents kind of go through that, like, well, how could I have not known, and I had a similar diagnosis, but I was, this is 1991. And I think the symptoms of type 1 diabetes were even less known then, so I had a lot of stomach issues. It was the same thing. My parents took me to the doctor, and, they said maybe it's a flu, but also they did the urine test there, so they found out. But, I think parents do feel blindsided, and, there can be a lot of guilt where, what did I do wrong, and things like that. And the thing is that the answer is nothing. You didn't do anything wrong, and it is comforting. And I think that's one of the most beautiful things about the diabetes online community. One of the reasons I started doing this interview series in the first place, 35 plus interviews ago, is that the diabetes online community is a very welcoming place. And I think anybody who wants to come in and be involved and have their voice be heard and do something as beautiful as you and Peyton did and say, look, you know, I'm 5 years old, I'm here, you know, you're not alone, you know, we're handling this, and, you know, you can handle it too, is that we here in the community are like, we want that. We want to see people like you doing things like that. And I think, you know, having that reach and just, you know, as many people are willing to speak up to spread awareness about diabetes, about the symptoms, about, you know, how, yes, living with it is tough, but it's also manageable, and that we can still do and be and thrive and all that other things, the better. You know, there's not enough people. And I think as many people that want to speak up, you know, your video is going to reach people that my videos aren't. And, you know, the next person's video are going to reach people, because there's just so many people out there with diabetes who aren't sure where to turn. And each person that kind of speaks up and says, hey, here I am, you know, helps bring us even closer together as a community. So I'm really glad that I saw your video, and I'm really glad that you did it. And I'd love to hear Peyton's voice. Can you just say hi, Peyton? Because I only know you from some paper. Say hi, my name is Peyton.
Hi.
Hi. Oh, see how cute it is.
She's on Christmas vacation, so she's out of her element.
Okay, she's kind of hanging out. So
yeah.
Was it difficult to coordinate making that video, or how many, let me ask you this, for somebody who I just usually shoot like live videos without editing, how many times did you guys have to go through that paper to get that video going?
Well, it's funny because we probably did it about 15, 20 times. And that song, the fight song, which we did it, the Scottish version of it, you know, that we found on YouTube. But that song really spoke to me when I heard it the first time, because it really is, you know, it's so many people's fight song. And so when we were doing it, and, you know, she was doing the cards and things, and I just started crying.
Yeah.
And you can tell if you watch the video, it's about halfway through it where she kind of stops and she's like, uh-oh. You know, because I'm like over here bawling. And then we do the next one, and then you can see she starts to cry. And if you know her, because a bunch of our friends picked up on it. They're like, oh man, she's about to cry. And it, you know, I was thinking about it today when I was, you know, thinking about this interview, and I was thinking about, you know, my emotions play so much on her. And the reason, you know, her sensor broke 2 weeks ago. Well, I rely on that thing, you know, because she is very hyper unaware. So she doesn't know her highs very much. And so, you know, when her sensor broke, I was like, oh my goodness, you know, this is terrible. This is awful. You know, she's going to, you know, all this, you know, at school, it's going to be bad. And I expressed that probably to my husband. Well, she heard me. And then one day at the dinner table, she was like, you know, I really wish I had my sensor. Well, you know, a 5-year-old shouldn't be thinking that, or, you know, be upset because of that. And it really plays on, you know, your emotions. And so through the video also, I've also learned that, you know, even though I have fears about, you know, type 1, because, you know, I'm pretty much new to this still. You know, we've been in it for 2 years, but we're really still very new. And, you know, I've realized that if I'm worried about something, she's going to be worried too. And so, you know, as I'm sitting there crying while she's, you know, doing the papers, I'm thinking, you know what, this can either be good or bad, because here I'm showing her, you know what, you can do this, you are strong, but at the same time I'm crying because, you know, there's nothing I can do. And which is another reason why we did the video, because, you know, one day when she is old enough to know why we did this and what we did, and, you know, we'll be able to replay the video, I want her to know that, you know, you're strong and you can do this. And this isn't something that's going to break you. This is something that's going to make you stronger. And, you know, she's been broken in so many ways, and so have all type 1 children and adults, and, you know, in ways that we don't even understand as non-diabetics. And it's just amazing to me, the strength and the courage that comes from a 5-year-old child. And it's really inspiring. And so, you know, I say all that to say that we really love her. And, you know, we're just so thankful for the type 1 community, because really we have gotten a lot out of, you know, asking questions online, or, you know, what works best, or what are some good low carb breakfasts, you know, because breakfast is our, our high spiker.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So I think what you just said, I mean, I coach people on, you know, having a positive mindset. You know, my kind of thing is taking adversity and turning it into an advantage. And that's, you know, something that I do, you know, through nutrition, through fitness, and really mindset is at the core of that. And I think that you touched on probably one of the most important things that I think for parents of children with type 1 diabetes to know. And this isn't just, you know, through working with people, but also guess what? My mom is my best friend in the entire world to this day. And she's the mom of a child who had type 1 diabetes. And we've had lots and lots of lengthy conversations about, you know, what that was like for her, because I feel now that I'm an adult, and, you know, even when I was growing and changing, to know what it was like to be in her shoes. And the reason why I am so strong and capable and wanting to give back and contribute, and I see diabetes as an advantage versus an adversity, because of the fact that my mom was strong, and my mom, in the face of adversity, showed me how to be strong. So when you kind of made that point of saying, you know, when you express your emotions and the way you feel, you know, Peyton or anybody's children would be able to pick up on that, and children emulate their parents. That's just, doesn't matter whether we're talking about diabetes or, you know, nutritional habits, or it doesn't matter what we're talking about. Children emulate their parents. So I think that is just such a key, insightful observation that you were able to make, and that will serve Peyton in her life and all of your other children as well, is that you want to lead by example. You want to show Peyton that, you know, strength is kind of the option to choose here, because it is a choice to choose to have that. I mean, we have an array of emotions that we can all access at all times, but the ones that we choose to access and display outwardly are the ones that our children are going to pick up on. And I think that Peyton is going to be having a lot of benefits because of those insights that you have for the rest of her life. And she's very lucky to have a mom who's so aware of, you know, what's going on inside her own head, so that you can help her kind of make sense of what's going on inside her head. Even if you can't exactly feel the exact thing, you're as close as the thing that she's going to get to helping her get through that. Trust me, because without my mom kind of just, you know, holding my hand every step of the way and telling me everything was going to be fine, and don't let this, you know, be the reason that I don't follow my dreams and chase my passions and live the life that I, you know, desire, I probably wouldn't be doing the things that I love to do today. So I think you should be feeling very good about that. I see Peyton's little face just looking at the camera. Peyton, did you enjoy making the video? Was it fun for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Peyton, what's your favorite thing to eat for breakfast?
No.
You don't know?
You like cereal? Pancakes?
Do you guys have any pets? What do you have?
A fish and a dog.
A fish and a dog? Wait a minute. I'm going to show you what I have over here. If I can wake her up a little bit. Can you see my kitty?
Aww.
Hi, Peyton. This is my assistant. Her name is Frankie.
Aww. Great name.
So what else is going on over there? So where are you guys from anyway? What state? You don't have to give any further information. What state are you guys in?
We're in North Carolina.
Oh, cool. Very nice. I'm in Philadelphia, so we're East Coast neighbors.
Yeah.
So, do you have any fun things planned for your Christmas vacation?
No.
She got some cousins coming over soon this weekend, so she's excited about that, right? Yeah.
Cool. So I was going to say, so I usually ask people, and I think it would be really great coming from mom, and I know 2 years isn't a super long time, but it's certainly enough time with living with diabetes to have some insights, which you've already given really good ones. But what would you say, you know, what your top tips for thriving with diabetes, or even thriving as a mother of a child with diabetes, have been for you for the past few years?
Well, the number one thing is that, you know, Peyton is a 5-year-old first, and that's one of the most important things that my husband and I have, you know, have tried to instill in ourselves and instill in her. And, you know, yes, she's got diabetes, but diabetes doesn't have her. And she still can do everything that everybody else does. She still can, you know, she can still eat chocolate cake and ice cream, and she can still go outside and play just like everyone else. She just has to have a little extra, you know, help with different things. But we've really tried to get her to, you know that she is a kid first. And so when it comes down to, okay, you know what, she's 200 and we're at a birthday party and she wants a chocolate cake, you know, yeah, we're going to let her have the chocolate cake, you know, because that's important right now. You know, we don't want her to, you know, grow up thinking that, you know, diabetes is, you know, a crutch or a, you know, something that's going to hinder me from things I want to do, because we want her to, you know, be the best version of herself. And I think that with diabetes, she will be. And do we want it gone? Yeah, definitely, you know. But right now, we're just, you know, letting her be who she is, and, you know, letting her go, you know, to parties and to do what she wants to do, because she is a kid first. And so, you know, that's the most important thing for me as a parent of a diabetic, is to make sure that I let her do things that she would normally do even if she didn't have diabetes. And so, I mean, that's one of the most important things. But the other thing is, you know, if I could go back 2 years ago and tell myself one thing, I would tell myself, you know what, she's going to be okay. You know, we're going to have highs, we're going to have lows, pun intended.
Yeah.
We're going to have problems. We're going to have corrections that, you know, we're going to face things but she's going to be okay. And, you know, that, you know, in the beginning of her diagnosis, life revolved around Peyton. I mean, that's just what it was, because, you know, we didn't know what to expect. We were scared. We were nervous. But now, you know, it's like, okay, life doesn't just revolve around you. And so the fear factor is gone from that. You know, we're 2 years into it. And so, you know, we're not so scared anymore that, okay, you know, where is she? What is she doing? Is she low? Is she high? You know, we've realized she's going to be okay. And so the fear is, you know, it's still there, obviously. You know, I still check Peyton at 2 a.m. every morning. I know a lot of people don't do that, but I do, because it makes me feel comfortable. But, you know, we're still fearful, obviously, because it is a scary disease. But we are, you know, we're thankful that it's made her and Jonathan, my husband, and I, you know, more aware of other people. And it's true, because, you know, when you're not going through something, I guess you seem more selfish than when you're going through something with somebody. You realize, you know what, there's other people out there, and there's people with, you know, diseases and, you know, and different things that, you know, cancer and, you know, all these different things. But there's other people, and it's really helped us to become more, you know, aware of others. And I mean, if we're going to be honest, I mean, it really has, you know, it's helped us to not be so selfish.
Yeah.
But, you
That's
know,
one of the things that I've said many times. I can't remember, we were chatting on Twitter they have Twitter chats for diabetes different nights of the week. And I was saying how I feel very much like diabetes breeds empathy. I said, I have so much empathy for humanity in general, you know, disease, not disease, you know, just like you said, an awareness of other people's, the kind of hands that they were dealt, whatever hand that is, we all have the hand that we're dealt in life. And living with diabetes has given me, I mean, my husband calls me an empath, and maybe I was an empath before I had diabetes. I don't know, because I was 9 and I don't, you know, but I just, you know, I can kind of tune into what other people are feeling and kind of exchange feelings with them on a more meaningful level. And I really do believe that it's because I have diabetes that's one of the main reasons why that is because it's like, look, I know what it's like to go through things that many people would kind of feel are like, you know, not so great. But at the same time, I also know what it's like to take something that's can be perceived as not so great and turn it into something that I think is great, you know, because like you said, I would not be anywhere near as aware of my health and all of the actual power and control that I have over the choices that I make about my health and wellness. If I didn't have diabetes, I don't think, my family would have learned. I don't think I would have gotten my degree in nutrition science. I don't think I would have gone to school to become a personal trainer. It's just, that wasn't the path. My family is not athletic or nutritionally inclined. And it wasn't until, it became something that needed to be focused on that we did. But then the benefits of it are just endless. And now my mom is 64 years old, and last year I got her into doing yoga, and she does yoga twice a week and she loves it. And it's just like, it's like this thing that you can see that can give and give and give in really good ways, but it can, depending on your mindset around it, it can also be something negative. So I think that what you're saying is just totally true. It's really all about the way you think about it, the way you approach it. You let, Peyton have the cake. It's like, look, you're it's life. Life is she's going to be 200 now. And then later on you can, bring it down. It's not going to be the end of the world right now. So it'll probably be more detrimental to her if she doesn't get the cake and everybody else does. And I agree. I think that's totally true. And I think my mom had a very similar approach in life. It's like, okay, well, we're just going to live our lives, and the diabetes is going to be important, certainly, but it's not going to be the reason why things don't happen. And I think that's really important.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
So anything else I was going to say? I was going to say, Peyton, where do you wear your Dexcom site? Where do you normally wear it?
Your sensor.
Where do you wear it?
Right on my arm.
On your arm?
Right there.
Oh, cool. I think we both have ours on the same spot.
Oh, yeah.
See, I have mine there too.
Me too, just like you.
Yeah, just like yours.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's our security.
What's that?
That's my security blanket.
It's mine too. I mean, I love having that. I mean, it's just, I went, this is my 25th year with diabetes. And, for 22 of those years, I did not have a Dexcom. And I can't tell you, I honestly grew up thinking that was like some futuristic robot, like thing that would never really happen. And if it did, like, it would be so expensive that, even with insurance, I said it'd be $100,000 and I would never be able to get it. But it's just, that's what the other thing that's kind of great is the technology that we have nowadays is advancing at such a rate that, we're able to have these tools to use, because it was kind of tough. Well, do you use a pump, Peyton, or do you do injections?
Do you have a pump?
What kind of pump?
Pink.
Pink? A pink pump? Yeah.
It's a Medtronic.
Cool. Very nice. All right. Well, I was going to say, you've shared so much with us today. Is there anything else you want to share with us before we sign off here?
I don't think so. I think we're just happy that people's lives were touched because of her, and it makes it worth it, and it makes it it makes it all worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I mean, with a face like that, I can't imagine not touching lives, whether you make a video or not. But I mean, no, I think I watched the video and I almost cried, and I'm not, my husband will tell you, it takes like a lot to make me cry. I'm like, oh my God, it's so cute. And then I have a lot of other people. What's that?
It's hard when they're little, I think.
Yeah.
I think it pulls our heartstrings more when they're little.
Absolutely. And it's like, because that's what I think. I'm like, oh, that little girl's going through it. I know what she's going through. Yeah, it's like, I think that's what everybody kind of feels. And even my friend Richard from the diabetes community, who posted the video on my page, I had already seen it. And he's like, you need to interview these people. He's like, everybody needs to hear from them. And that's the thing. That's like the reaction. It's like, we now want more of Peyton because she's so cute and she's so real. Like, that's really what it is. And like, people love that. So Peyton, how does it feel to be a superstar?
How does it feel to be a superstar? Someone asked for her autograph at a JDRF event. She thought that was pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. Can you sign your autograph?
Can you sign your name?
Okay, it was so cute. So I mean, I think that pretty much wraps it up. Peyton's adorable. Hopefully maybe you'll be inspired to do some more videos to supplement that one, maybe once a year, so we can see how Peyton rocks as she continues to grow up, or and maybe we'll supplement another interview in a few years, because I'm going to keep doing this because I love doing it. But so thank you so much for joining us. Can you say bye to everybody out in Diabetes Online community, Peyton?
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. We'll see you guys later on the next episode of Unleash Your Inner Diabetes Dominator.